very much interested in learning digital marketing course for a very long period of time, but I don't get a proper platform. So later for my college, I get to know about XLR and I enroll in XLR course. It was really good experience. Our course has been taken by Mayur sir, and he was very good teacher. He not only focusing on theory part, he is doing how real digital marketing works, and it was in total very good experience. I get so much of knowledge. Here they're not only focusing on study, they're also conducting different exams to test our knowledge, and as we are giving the exam, so to appreciate our work, they give certificates for the toppers, and along with the certificate they give hampers. Thank you, XLR.
Recently I was searching for digital marketing courses online in Google, and I came across XLR and I attended a digital marketing course which was for 15 days. My mentor Mayur helped me for attending these classes. So he is a very informative and helpful guy. In the course end, there is a exam which I topped, so I came to the XLR office in Bengaluru. This digital marketing course has helped my career and my skills to develop, and the certificate has helped my company to join. Thank you, XLR.
I came to know about this course from my college. Actually, for learning platform, this is very nice, and I learned from here ChatGPT and AI from online. Because he's teaching for me for AI generative and ChatGPT. We are using this technology in more. And after finishing the courses, I came for collecting the certificate. I seen the classrooms and faculties. Classroom is very nice. After the completion of exam, they will give gift and certificates. Thank you, XLR, for giving these courses. I learned a lot from this. I gained the more knowledge from here, and thank you for XLR for teaching.
Hi, I am Karthik Rannan. I am the president of the Wall Street Club of BITS Pilani Hyderabad campus. Yes, so the collaboration with XLR was an excellent one. We conducted a Power BI workshop with Advanced Excel over a span of 3 days. The workshop was almost 12 hours long in total. Mr. Karthik, who was an amazing trainer, helped the students understand the concepts deeply. I am sure that the students will be able to apply these concepts in their careers as well as their daily lives while they try to navigate the world of finance. I am happy that we will be able to close this workshop successfully on a very good note.
Hi, I am Raghunendra Singh and I am the Technical Director of the Wall Street Club at BITS Pilani Hyderabad campus. It was a great amazing conducting this workshop with XLR. The trainer, Mr. Karthik, was an excellent person where he explained in very detailed manner on how to give great insights using very complex data sets, which was very helpful for the people who are interested in the field of finance, business or analytics in general. Thank you.
I attended a workshop conducted by CSA and ACM in collaboration with XLR. So it was a machine learning workshop. We learned a lot from the course and it was a great experience attending the workshop.
The trainer was very helpful. He had a hands-on approach with his teaching and it was fabulous.
This was a great experience for me. So I would absolutely love it if XLR and its team would come again to our campus and conduct more events like this.
The journey was great. Initially, I thought that I was not proficient enough in Excel, but later I came to know there was no prerequisites for it, and then I applied for it, and it was a great course, and it started from basics and took me to a great extent.
Good evening, myself Kavya Ganatra. I am from Computer Science Association. I was the POC for this ML workshop conducted by CSA and ACM in collaboration with XLR. The experience of the workshop was really nice. The feedback from all the students was positive. They understood the concept. The workshop was also practical based with some questions. The experience with XLR was very smooth. They helped us in conducting the workshop smoothly right from the booking of the vendor and deciding the course till the distribution of certificates. In overall, this workshop was a success during our technical fest Atmos, and I thank XLR for being a part of it. Thank you.
Good morning, everyone. How are you doing today? Is my voice and audio clear? Audio and video clear? Can anyone acknowledge through the chat box? Yeah, very good morning. Okay, great. Thanks for confirming, Sai Kumar. Yep, thank you. So in yesterday's session, we completely learned about the methods and the way of implementation and how it is executing, the execution flow behind the JVM, right? So do you have any doubts in that concept in yesterday's session? Any doubts? Are you clear with yesterday's session? No doubts? Okay then. Okay, then we'll proceed today's session. I'll share my screen. Okay. So in today's session, we mostly discuss about OOPS concepts, but you asked about access modifiers yesterday. So first we'll discuss about access modifiers. And then we'll learn few OOPS concepts, that too about class and then object. And then we'll discuss about constructor. We'll discuss all the concepts that are related to constructor, means the definition, the syntax, and the types of constructors available in Java. After that, if there is enough time, then we'll learn the basic non-primitive data types available in Java. Okay. So today's agenda is, first we'll discuss about access modifier and then we'll proceed on OOPS concepts. So the first thing first, let's talk about access modifiers. In yesterday class, we discussed about there are 4 types of access modifiers, right? What are they? Can anyone tell me? You can put it in the chat box. How many types and what are all they? Yes. Yes, good response. So there are 4 types of, yeah, good response, everyone. There are 4 types of access modifiers available in Java. So those are default, public, private, and protected. Yes. So what is access modifier, by the way? The access modifier is nothing but it will restrict the access. If you provide some default to some data member or public, or, I mean, if you define any data member or method or a class with these modifiers, then it will restrict the access. Depends upon the modifier we are using. So let's see how it will go for, I mean, how it is differentiate between these modifiers. So first we'll discuss about default. So normally we'll see like we created different programs, we implemented different programs. So most of the programs we mention the class and method names with the public, right? So if you didn't mention any modifier is nothing but if you didn't mention it as public or protected or private, then defaultly JVM will take it as default access modifier. Okay, if you didn't mention any of these, then JVM itself will consider it as default access modifier. Okay, we understood when the JVM will take it as default. Okay, got it. Then how and I mean, what is the main difference and what is the speciality of default access modifier? We have to know. So for that, we'll learn about default access modifiers. For example, I have a class, and then in the class we'll be having main method. And in this class, I mentioned few variables which are nothing but we can call it as data members. So maybe integer A, comma B. And I have one method, addition method I'll take. Yesterday we wrote this method, right? So I'll take the same method. So here, I have two data members which are nothing integer type, which are A and B. And then I'm having one method and the method name is addition, right? So in this program, for this method, I haven't declared any modifier. I haven't used public, I haven't used private and then protected. So it will take defaultly, the JVM will consider this method as default method. Okay. So then here, if you how can we access method? We can access the method using object. We have to create the object and then using that object we'll call the method. For example, if the class name is demo, how it will go? First we'll create the object. I'm creating the object for demo class using new keyword. I created it. Then I have to call this method using that object. So I call the addition method using the object. Okay. So here it is a default method. So we can access this method or these data members throughout the package. I'll show you by executing in Eclipse. So I'll take one package. I'll name it as package 1. And here I'll create one class. The class name is demo 1, maybe. We can give demo 1. I need main method, so I checked it and I clicked on finish button. So here I'll declare one method. Yesterday we discussed about addition method, so I'll take the same example. And I want to make that method as default method, so I won't declare it with public or protected or private. So I'm declaring addition method, which will take two operands, which are of integer type. And then here I'll return the sum of A and B. Okay, we declare the method as it doesn't contain any access modifier, it will consider as default. Okay, then I'll call this addition method by creating the object. So I created the object and I'm calling the addition method with 10 and 20 variable by passing 10 and 20. So as it is integer type, we'll get some value here. So I'm assigning it to result variable and I'm printing it. It's a basic example that we discussed yesterday. So here we created one method and we are calling from main method, right? So this part was clear, right? So if it is default, we can access throughout that package. Here our class exists under package 1. So wherever you want, you can call this addition method, which is a default method. But this scope is exists till this package only. You can't call this addition method from some other package. Let me show you. Then let me take one more method here. I told you that the default method can be available, can be accessible throughout the package, right? In this package itself, we have this class demo1. Under that demo1, we have subtract method. So as it is default method, addition method, we have to be accessible from subtraction method too. So for this case, I'm trying to create one object here. And I'm calling this addition. See, I didn't get any errors here because as it is a default method, I can access it in the package. As my subtract method is in demo class, which is existed in package 1, so I can access this default method. Okay. So we can only access till throughout this package only, not from other packages. So let's take one more package and let's see that. So I'm taking another package. I'll name it as package 2. And here I'm creating one class. So as I want to, from this package 1, for demo 1, as I want to access this, I have to import this package. Okay. For example, if you are using scanner, you have to import util.scanner class. Similar to that, here you have to import package1.star. If you are providing star, it will take anything under that package. So here I imported it. So this addition is under demo class. So I have to create object for demo class, demo1 class. So I'm creating object for that. Okay, it was created. How to call this addition method? We already created the object for this class, so I can directly access it using that object. So d dot addition. So now what should it happen? As we are calling default method from some other package, it should throw error. It should show compile time error. So let's check that. See here, can you see it was showing in red color mark, which is nothing but error. If I highlight this, it is showing change visibility of addition method to public, right? So here, this addition method is default method. It can only accessible in this package itself. We can't access it from some other package. But in package 2, what we are trying? We are trying to access that default addition method. So as it is default, as we are trying to access from some other package, it is throwing the error. Did you understand the default access modifier? The data members or methods in that, if we mention the data members or the methods as default, then we can access only in that package itself, not from other package. Is it clear, everyone? Is it clear? Okay, I hardly see few responses. Okay, great. So we understood that if we didn't mention anything, it will take it as default. So I'll write that difference here. Okay. Didn't mention anything. If we didn't mention anything, it will take it as default. So the scope of the default is access modifier is throughout that package only. Throughout that package, other package, can we access it from other package? No, we can't. Only in that package itself we can access. Okay. So let's check for public now. If we mention any data members or methods with public access modifier, I mean with the public keyword, then JVM will consider it as public. Like the access modifier, it will consider it as public. So this public has the scope of the public is very wide compared to other access modifiers. Like if we declare any data member or method with public, it can access throughout the package and also from other packages as well. It has wide scope. So let's check that. So for the same example, we'll see with public keyword. So if I mention the addition as public, then it will consider this method as public method. I mean public, it will check the public keyword first. So it could understand there is no restriction for this method as it is mentioned with public. We can access throughout the program, throughout the package or from other packages also. Okay, there is no restriction if we are mentioning it as public. So here in the class demo 1, we mentioned addition method as public. So we can access throughout this package 1. So let's check that. Here itself in the subtract method, we created the object and we are calling that addition method. So it is not throwing any error, which means it is accessible. From this conclusion, we can say, yes, if this method is declared with public, we can access in the package throughout that package, right? So if apart from deep, it can accessible from this package and also from other packages. So I already have that package to here. So let's check if it we modify this addition method from default to public now. So now it shouldn't throw any errors. It should be accessible from package 2 as well. See here, previously it shown one error. Now that error was gone after we modified that method with public. Got it? We could able to access the public method from other packages too. Is it clear, everyone? Is it clear, the public? Okay. So from this analysis, what we have observed, if any data, if we mention it as public keyword for any data member or method, then it will JVM will consider it as public access modifier and it has wide scope. It can accessible from anywhere. can accessible from anywhere within throughout that package and also from other packages. So let's see private. So if you mention any method as private, it can be accessible in that class itself, only in that class. If we have to mention private keyword, then only JVM understand that the modifier we are using is private. So it has to restrict few things. What are the restrictions it will add? It will add the scope to that class itself. Only the class, not throughout the package, not from other package as well. Okay. If we declare any data member or method with private, it can only accessible or visible in that class itself. We can't access throughout the package, like from in that package itself. If we have another class, we can't access from that class. If class is private but method is public, access that method, class is private. No. If class itself private, how can you access? If the class is private, like how you ask in Pranjali, if class is private but method is public, then we can access that method. In that class itself, you can access the method, but not from other package. Did you get it? You are saying, I'll show you the example. Here you are mentioning the class itself private. And we have some method, maybe addition method. And you're saying that this method is public. So you can access this method because it is inside the class itself. Here you are not mentioning the access modifier. I mean, here the access modifier for this method is public. So you can able to access throughout the package. But how you will call the method? You have to create object, right? Class, or you have to create the object of that class, then only you can access. But if you see the class, its scope is private. Only it can accessible in that package itself. Only. You can't access it from other class. You can't inherit actually. You can inherit, but you can't access it. Did you get it, Pranjali? Yeah. The main difference is the method is public, but the scope of the class is private. Yeah. So if you mention any data member or method with private, it can only accessible in that class itself. It can't accessible from other class, and throughout the package we can't access, and also from other packages we can't access it. Okay, let's check that. In the same example itself, I mentioned this addition method as private. Okay. So here in this class itself, in this demo one class itself, we have this method and also this method. So as it is within this class, I could able to access this addition method from this subtraction method, right? It is within the demo one class only. So I can access this private method within that class, throughout that class, okay? But I can't access it from other classes, even if it is in the same package. Let's check that. I'll take another class. I'll name it as A. And here, okay, here I have main method, right? So I'm creating new method here. I'll make it as private to show you how it is not accessible. Private void with demo 2 I'll give. And then here I'll just give sysout. Okay. So this private method exists under class A, right? So this scope is limited to this class only. Okay, we can't access this demo method from this demo1 class because this class is different and this class is different. If we are declaring method or member with private, it is restricted to that class itself. So let's check that. For example, here itself, how we can call this demo2 method? We have to create object of this class, A class. So I'm creating a class, sorry, object for that A class. Okay, I created it. How can I access this demo2 method? Using that object. So I'll call with that object demo2. See, it is showing error because it is demo2 is private method. It was restricted to A class only. We can't access it from some other class. Here the some other class is demo1 class. So we are trying to access that demo2, the private method. So it is restricted. If I highlight the error, it is showing that change visibility of demo2 method to package, right? Or public or protected like that. Are you clear with this? The private, it is only restricted in that class itself. Is it clear, everyone? Okay, I could see only one response. Okay. Okay, fine. So if it is not accessible from other class, we can't access from other package too, right? Here itself you could see the addition method we modified from public to private. So it is from other package we are trying to access it. So it is throwing error and it is showing that change visibility of addition method to public. As it is private, you can't access it from other packages. If you want to use it from other packages, you have to make it as public. It is showing that error. Got it? So let's check for protected. Protected is almost similar to default method only. But here we have to use protected keyword. So the main difference between like if we are mentioning any data member or method with protected, then throughout that package we can use. The scope is throughout the package. Okay, but we can't access from outside of the package. But there are some cases like outside of the package. We can't completely access it outside of the package. If you want to use this protected method or data member in outside of the package, you have to inherit it. You have to inherit this this class or the package. I mean the class which is existed in this package. This part I know you will get confusion because we didn't completed the inheritance. So don't think about it for now. Just learn the scope. Like it can be accessible throughout the package, and it can be accessible outside of the like subclass of this other package. Subclass of other package. That's it. I'll tell you this protected method deeply in inheritance concept. So no need to worry about it. Yes. Means like Srihari, we can like throughout the package we can access it, and if we want to access it from other package, you need to inherit it. You need to extend that class in that package, in that separate package. Then only it will be accessible. So we'll dig deep into that in the inheritance session. So let's check. I'll make it as protected. So if I mention it as protected, it can be accessible. throughout this package, right? So I didn't have got that error previously. If it is private, we have that error here. Once I modify it to protected, it is not throwing any errors now. So similar to that, here also I'll modify. So in the same class itself, we can access it, and from other class also we can access it, and throughout the package we can access that uh, respective data member or method if we mention it as protected. Okay, but from other package we can't, I mean, completely access it. If we want to access, we need to inherit it. So that part will cover under inheritance concept. So far, are you clear with the main difference among all these four access modifiers? How default, public, private, and protected works? Yes, Samya. The main difference between default and protected is default. If it is default method or data member, you can't access from other packages. You can't access from other packages. If it is protected method, protected, then you can access from other package, but there is some speciality. You need to inherit it. Then only you can access. If you inherit that class in some other package, then you can access that modifier, access that method or data member. So this part will I'll explain in inheritance concept. It will be big if I like you'll get confusion if I say everything in today's session. This will be covered under inheritance concept. Did you understand the difference, Soumya? If it is default, we can't access in other package. If it is protected, you can access from other package, but you need to inherit it if you want to use. Yep, great. Any other doubts? Are you clear? Give yes if you are clear or else no. Okay, great. So we completed access modifiers. We completed this concept, but protected is little bit of concept is pending with protected, but will be covered in inheritance concept, inheritance session. Okay. Now we'll discuss about what is class and object. Okay. Yes. Before that, I want to ask you a few things. Yesterday we discussed about bank example, right? So we discussed about we have different counters in bank and we can go and deposit or withdraw whatever the action we want to do. We can go to the bank and we have to go to the respective counter and we can complete that task that we want to do. And then we can come out of that bank. So this is what happening and this is what we uh, discussed in yesterday class. For example, person A person A is willing to go to the bank. For example, this is a bank, consider it as bank, and this person name is A, and he wants to go to the bank and he want to open a new account. Okay, open a new account. So how can a person A can create the account in bank? Can anyone tell me how? Like most of you have bank accounts, I guess. Maybe your family members have bank accounts. You will have some idea on creating the bank account. So how you will do? You have to visit the bank. That is the mandatory step. Then how can you create a bank account? What are all the necessary actions we have to do? Come on, folks. You can say anything. Okay. Have to visit bank. Okay. Okay, have to visit bank and we have to give an application for opening account. Yes, true. some documents related to that. Yes, exactly. So for creating the good answers, folks. So for creating the bank account, first we need to visit that bank. So if you go to the bank and if you go to the respective counter for account, maybe the counter will name the counter as account counter, account counter. So if you go to that, and this person who is in that counter will give you some form. If you say that, hi sir, I want to create account in your bank, then what this person will ask, okay, what type of account it is, savings account or salary account, like that he will ask. Based on that, he'll give one form to a person A. In that form, what we'll have, it contains all the required fields, which are nothing but first name, last name, address, email, email address, phone number, and etc. Right? It contains on the signature as well. So he'll provide the bank form, and he'll ask person A to fill this form to create a account. To create account. So this person A will fill all the required fields, and he'll sign in that form, and he'll hand over to that person. So this person will check this form, and he'll enter all the details, all the necessary details in the computer, and then he'll save it, and he'll perform some actions to create the bank account, right? Is it what the process is going on in banks? Yes, it is the process. So consider we have bank. Consider we have bank, but it is not following any form or template. So if the person A is going to that bank, for example, this bank B, and we have counter here, same account counter, and this person is going to create the bank account in this B bank. So he went to that bank and he asked for the respective person in that counter to open how to open the account. So this person will tell you, provide all the required documents and just give all the required fields, which are nothing but first name, last name, email address, and everything. So just hand over that to me. I'll save the details in bank, and I'll create the account. So if we say that if he didn't provide any form, how it will go? For example, if person A is writing in taking one blank paper and writing first name here, and then last name, and then address, and then he maybe phone number, email address, or PAN card details, maybe passport details, and then signature. Maybe if he is taking one blank paper and he is writing everything, and he is filling all the details, and he is handing over to that person. For example, if some other person, maybe B person, came to that same bank and he is asking for to open an account. So they'll reply like, you provide all the required documents and the details, we'll save it in the computer and we'll create the account, open an account for you. So what this person B is doing is, he is writing phone number first, email address, then PAN card. At last he is writing first name, maybe here he is writing last name, and then passport details, and then signature. Okay. So for example, for person A using this template, his own template actually. Person B is using his own template. For example, there are n number of like 100 customers. For each and every customer, they'll fill the form on their wish. Like they won't follow any order. They'll definitely fill all the fields, but they didn't maintain any order, like first name and then last name, address, phone number, email, in that format. So as we have like more than 100 plus customers coming to that same bank and trying filling their details without any order and handing over to this person, then it will be very difficult to this person to check all those required fields and saving into this computer, right? It will be very difficult if we didn't follow the order. Because if it is for two persons, then it will be very easy. But if it is for more than 100 plus customers, then it will be very difficult. Do you agree? Do you agree? If we didn't have any template or form, yes. So what will be the best approach? The previous example, this the bank A which is following template to fill the details, or bank B without following the form. Which is the best approach, bank A or bank B? Only one response I could see. Okay. Okay, bank A. Yes, great. So the bank A approaches, yes, everyone are saying bank A is good to go. I mean, following the good process. Because as we are having some form, everyone, if some other person is coming, like even though 100 plus customers are there, they'll follow the same thing. So same form and they'll fill the details. So for it will be easy for this person to analyze the fields and saving into the computer and opening an account for that respective customer. So here this form is nothing but, can I say it as template? Template. Can I say it as template? Yes, we can say. Yes. So we are following one template to open an account, which is same for all the customers. If different customers are coming, they can access the same template and they can open the account, right? This template contains all the required fields. So similar to that, class is nothing but blueprint, or you can call it as template. Class is nothing but template that contains all the required data members. In the form we called it as fields, right? First name, last name. But in class we'll use the terminology as data members and then methods, right? Class is nothing but template or blueprint, which contains all the required data members and methods. Can I say this? Because in the class itself, class name, in the class itself, you will define the data members int A and then some addition method and some other methods. So you will define that in that same class itself. So this is nothing but template. So for example, if I am creating object A, if I'm creating object A for this class, can I access this method and data members? Can I access? What happened? I didn't see any response. Okay, yes, good. So if I'm creating B object B, can I access the template? If I'm creating C object, can I access the template? So can I say, can I create n number of objects, and with those objects, can I access these methods and data members? Yes, because it's just a blueprint. It's providing the template. So you can create n number of objects and you can use those objects to call these methods or data members, right? Yes. So this is about class. Class is nothing but blueprint, or you can say it as template, which contains all the data members and methods. And you can create n number of objects for that class to access it, to access the respective thing. Defining class is okay. Defining class with data members and methods is okay. But if we are defining, we have to call it, we have to use it. If you are not using it and if you are just declaring it, it is meaningless, right? We need to access and we need to perform some actions. So for doing those actions, we have to create object. You can create n number of objects and you can access the respective methods or data members. Depends upon the requirement, right? Ma'am, which are data members? Data members are nothing but the variables that you are using, the fields, int A, string C. Those are data members, and methods are nothing but, yesterday we discussed about it. Is it clear, Narasimhamurthy? Okay, great. So can I say class is a template which contains data members and methods? And can I say we have to create object for class to access these methods and data members? And there is no restriction of creating the objects. You can create n number of objects. Can I say that? Yes, we can say. So let's see. We have same, I provided same definition here. Let's check this. Class is nothing but blueprint or a template for creating objects. And this class contains data members and methods. Data members and methods. Data members, you can call it as properties, and methods will be having behavior. Like each and every method will have different behavior. For example, if it is addition, it will be used for addition. I mean, you can implement addition there. If it is for subtraction, it will perform subtraction. So it will be differ from one method to one method. So as it is having the behavior, we can say the methods contains behaviors. Okay. And object is nothing but it's an instance of a class. It's an instance, and you can create a number of objects and you can access the data members and methods using those objects. Is it clear, everyone? Is it clear? Okay, great. So we discussed about class and object. We need to create object to access the members or methods. That's what we are confident on it. So how to create object? Actually, there are different ways to create object, but in core Java, we can just learn about new keyword only. We already discussed in the previous class in methods session, yesterday's session, how to create an object, right? How to create an object? What is the syntax? We need to provide class name followed by variable name equals to, and then you have to use new keyword and then space, and you have to provide class name and then open and close parenthesis, right? This is the syntax for creating object. So let's say my class is demo class. How can I create the variable? I have to provide class name here, demo, and the variable name is, I'll take A as variable name, and if I want to create it, I have to use new keyword and then followed by class name, right? This is how we can create the object. And then how to access the methods and data members using object? With dot operator. A dot object dot the method name. You can provide method name. If it is addition, you can provide addition, like that. If you have any sum value, you can just a variable. If it is sum, you can access it with that object as well. A dot sum in that way. So is it clear what is class, what is object, how to create object, and how to access the methods or data members using object? Is it clear, everyone? Okay. Okay, great. Then, it's 11:30. Okay. We'll take 5 minutes break. It's 11:24. You can come at 11:30, and then we'll discuss about constructors. 11:30. Okay, and then today's agenda, we completed access modifiers and class and object. And then we'll just, we already know how to create a class. Wait a minute, we'll complete that part. You can take the break and come at 11:30. We'll discuss about it. You can come at 11:30 and I will discuss the further topics. Yeah, Saran, any doubts? Are you back? Is everyone back? And are you getting background noise from my side? Any background noise or is it clear? Okay, great. Okay, so so we discussed about access modifiers and then class and object. We discussed about how to create an object as well. For class also we'll be having syntax. We already discussed it, but I'll repeat it. We have we have to mention access modifier. If you are not maintaining any access modifier like public, private, or protected, it will treat it as default. And then you have to use class keyword, and then you have to use the name. And within the parenthesis flower brackets, you can mention the data members, you can mention the methods, and you will be having main method. You can write whatever you want. So for this class name, you have to you have to follow the coding standards. You have to create a class with some naming conventions. You have to follow some rules. For example, if it is method, we are following camel case, right? Low, I mean small letter and then a capital letter and small letter. Sorry, if it is contains more than two words, in the next word, the first letter of next word should be capital, right? We are following camel case for method naming. If it is class, the first letter of the class name should be capital always. For example, if it is demo class, the D should be capital followed by small letters. And if it is contains more than one word, for example, demo of constructor, if the name is demo of constructor, it is contained demo is one word, of is one word, constructor is one word, right? So first letter of each word should be capital. Right. So O is capital of. And then C should be capital. Okay, you have to maintain this rule. The first letter of every word should be capital while creating the class. You have to follow this rule to create a class name. Is it clear? The syntax? For example, you can mention public class demo of constructor. This is how you have to define. If you are not mentioning anything, it will take it as default. Is this syntax clear, everyone? Can we proceed further? Okay, great. So the next concept is constructors. Okay, what is constructor? Anyone know? Anyone have any idea on constructor? Any idea? No. Yeah, same name as class name, method as. Yes, yes. Correct pronunciation, Sri Hari. So the constructor is also a method which contains some special features, comes up with special features. So we know method, how to create a method, how to access a method, what type of methods we are available. So what is the special feature? If method and constructor are same, then what is the use of maintaining two concepts in Java? So that came into picture that it's not just a method, it's a special method. It contains some special features. Those special features are nothing but how usually we'll create a method. What is the syntax? What is the syntax for creating method? Defining method actually. Access modifier, like I'm taking the example, and then return type. Here I'm giving return type void, and then we have to follow camel case for method name, and this is how we have to define the method, right? If it is a constructor, it is also a method, but it contains some special features. What those features are nothing but you have to use like access modifier. You shouldn't use return type. Constructor shouldn't contain return type. Shouldn't contain return type. Okay. And then the method name should be same as the class name. For example, my class name is demo. My class name is demo. So you have to use same name as method name. D should be capital. Usually for method we follow camel case. If it is constructor, we shouldn't follow any camel case like that. We directly take that class name itself. And then open and closed parenthesis. Okay. Constructor is nothing but it is a special method that doesn't contain return type and its name should be same as class name. Can I say that? I'll repeat it one more time. Constructor is also a method. Constructor is a special method that doesn't contain any return type and the name of that constructor should be same as the class name. Can I say that? Is it clear? Is it clear, everyone, the definition? Okay, got it. Fine. So, ma'am, why can't, yes, I'm about to say that, Narasimha, okay. Yeah, we have method. Then we understood the definition of constructor. Then if we have method, why shouldn't we use method? Why we are using constructor? What is the main purpose? The main purpose of constructor is whenever you are creating an object, how you will create an object? How you will create class name followed by some variable object name, new keyword, and then class name. Right? Yeah, this is how, if the class name is demo, this is how I have to create the object, right? Yes. So if you see this demo and this brackets, what is this? What is this? This is a constructor, right? We defined earlier. How you define? Public, it shouldn't contain any return type and the name should be same as class name. Within the brackets, you will define something, right? It is nothing but you see here the constructor name. Here also the constructor we are using, right? So the constructor is mainly used whenever you are creating a constructor. Whenever you are creating an object, automatically this constructor will be called and it will take care of creating that object. It will take care of creating that object. It will instantiate the object, we can say. Or in simple terms, I don't want to make you confused. So in simple terms, the constructor is responsible to create objects. Okay. In depth, we can say like in terminologies we use like it will instantiate the objects. Okay. So see here, we are using constructor to create a object for demo class. Okay, the constructor will instantiate the objects, will create the objects for that respective class. Is it clear the usage of constructor? If you didn't have any constructor, we can't create any objects. Is it clear the definition and the usage? What is the main purpose of constructor? Yes, clear. Okay, fine. So, like here in previous programs, if I take this, I'll take, I'll remove this. I'll make it as very simple. I saved it. Here, if you see, my class name is demo1 and using demo1 constructor, I created it. But nowhere I mentioned demo1 constructor, right? Can you see, is there anything, anywhere I defined this constructor? Nowhere. This is the main method. Here I didn't implemented the constructor. Here also I didn't implemented the constructor. Then how it is calling? Any guess? Any idea? Yes, by default. So we haven't. 1 minute. Yes. There are two types of constructors available. There are two types of constructors available. One is default constructor. Other is parameterized constructor. Okay. The default, if you didn't mention any constructor, the JVM will take, at backend side, the JVM can create default constructor on its own and it can call the default constructor for creating objects. Okay. Here, I didn't mention anything. I didn't mention parameter constructor. I didn't mention anything. So it will, the JVM will comes to this. Whenever it is saying 12th line, it will automatically create default constructor by its own and it will create object using that. Okay. If you haven't mentioned anything, it will take it as default. But if you want to use parameterized constructor, for example, here parameterized constructor is nothing but in default constructor, if it is demo, we are having like this, right? We are not passing any values here. It's default. Parameter is nothing but it will contain some parameters. It contains some parameters. Okay. So let's see. For example, I have two values, int a equals to 10, comma, b equals to 20, or else, yeah, b equals 10, comma 20. Okay. Here, I want to create an object by passing these values. Okay. Or else I'll wait, not in the main method. I'll remove this method as well. Here I'm declaring two variables, int a equals to 10 and b equals to 20. Okay. So, and I want to create an object by passing these values, Or else, no need to declare here as well. Just declare some variables here and I want to create an object by passing these values. I want to create an object by passing these values. How can I create it? It can create object by passing these values. 10, comma 20. So here, if you see, previously, if you didn't pass any values, it didn't throw any error. It defaultly create an object because as we didn't mention any constructor, it will take it as default and it will create it. But if you want to pass the values, if you want to use parameterized constructor, you have to define it. How to define the constructor? Access modifier. It shouldn't contain any return type and its name should be same as class name, right? Here I want to pass 10 and 20, A and B values. So here I'll pass those values, int A and int B. So here this dot A equals to means here if we are passing 10, if you are this refers to current object, okay? It will be covered more deeply in inheritance concept, that super, this and protected. No need to worry if you are not clear with this and protected and super. We'll discuss deeply in that class as well. But for now, I'll explain you briefly. For example, you are passing 10, you are creating an object and you are passing 10 and 20 to that constructor, right? So the 10 will be assigned to A, 20 will be assigned to B. So I want to, for this variables, for this A and B, I want to assign these values. So which is nothing but this dot A, for this object, assign 10 value, this parameter, this value. For this variable B, assign or the value which is coming in this second parameter, which is nothing but B. Are you clear with this? Is it clear? But we need to use some super keyword here that will be covered in inheritance. Okay, fine. So if you didn't mention any constructor, it will take it as default. But if you want to use parameterized constructor, definitely you have to use definitely you have to declare that constructor, implement that constructor. Okay. And other than this, I mean, apart from this, there is an additional thing. Previously, we didn't mention anything, so JVM took it as default. But now you mentioned parameterized constructor, right? So, will the JVM take default constructor if I create an object like this? I mean, trying to create object in this format. If I create parameterized constructor and I'm trying to create an object for default constructor without passing any parameters, will it throw error or will it work? Will it work or will it throw error? What do you say? Error. Okay. How many are saying error and how many are saying working? Come on, folks. Try it out. It will work. Okay. Okay. I got combination of answers. Few are saying working, few are saying error. So see here, if you didn't mention anything, then it can take default. But here you are using parameterized constructor, but you're trying to access demo without passing any values. So then it will get ambiguity actually. So if you are defining parameterized, you need to create default as well if you want to use. I'll show you. I'll show you the error, why error will throw. For example, we have constructor, parameterized constructor. We are passing 10 and 20. It is working fine. It is not showing any error. For example, if I want to create an object without passing values, it will throw error. See here, it is throwing error. Because why it will get some ambiguity, confusion, because the JVM will comes to main and then it will check this 10th line. Okay, it will see this demo one, which is same as class name. So it will check whether this constructor is available or not. So it will check and it will found that yes, it contains some constructor and thus that constructor is taking two integer parameters. So here we are passing 10 and 20. So it will come and do the respective action. It will assign the values. After 10th line execution, control comes to 11th line. Here it will see demo 1. So for demo 1, it will check whether the constructor is available or not. It doesn't contain anything. only it contains, yes, it contains constructor, demo one constructor. But here we are not passing anything. But in demo one constructor, it is taking two integer type of variables, values. So it will get confusion and it will throw the error. So if you are not mentioning any parameterized constructor, if you are not mentioning any parameterized constructor, it can defaultly take the default constructor. It will call the default constructor. But if you are defining the parameterized constructor, you have to, if you want to use default constructor, then you have to mention it. You have to implement it. So public demo1, and here I have to use super. Okay. See here the error was gone. Now what will happen? Let's check that. The JVM comes to demo1 class and then main method. So inside that method, it will check for 10th line. Here we are using demo1, which is a class name, same as class name. So it will consider it as a constructor and it will check whether this constructor is available or not. So as it is checking, it will found demo1 and then here demo1, two demo1's constructor. Okay, then it will check whether which one is taking two parameters that two integer type. Here it is taking integer type parameters. So it will comes into this constructor and it will assign the values. Okay, it was executed and it will come to 11th line. So it will, here we are creating demo1. Oh, sorry. Here we are using demo1 name, which is same as class name, and we are using parentheses, so which is nothing but a constructor. So it will go and check whether this constructor is available or not. So it will check and it will found like, okay, we have two constructors with the same name. It will contain same name only. So it will check these constructor and it will check whether it is passing any values or not. No, it is not passing any value. Then it is not that constructor. Then it will check for next constructor. Here it is not taking any parameters. So it will come and comes to this constructor and it will do respective action. It will create this D1 object. Is it clear? If you are not declaring any constructor, it will go and you take it as default constructor only. But if you are implementing any parameterized constructor, you need to define default constructor if you want to use. Is it clear, everyone? Okay. There is no restriction of having only one parameterized constructor, one default constructor. You can have n number of constructors, like n number of parameterized constructors. For example, here I want to pass 10 and 20. What if I want to pass, for example, if I want to have some other variables which are float type, or else, for example, here we have A and B, right? I'll take, I want to pass only one value. I don't want to pass two values. Then how can I create it? The calling is same. This is the way we have to call. But we need to create that constructor because here we have only two constructor. One is default and another is parameterized constructor. That too, it is taking two integer types. But now I want to pass only one value, one integer type. Then I have to create that constructor as well. Public demo1 int A. Only it will take one constructor and the constructor will has to use super keyword, which will be covered in the next session. Don't worry. So this is how. So see, I have to use different variable. Yeah. So is it clear? Is it clear? We can have a number of constructors. For example, if you have C here, if you want to pass three values, how can you pass? How can you create the constructor? How can you create the constructor for three values? You have to create the parameter with a constructor with three parameters. How can you do that? Here I'll add one more parameter, and here I'll tell to this, hey, assign this third value to C variable. Yes, this is how. And what if I have float values? Float D. And I want to pass A value and then D value. How can I pass here? I want to pass one integer and one float type value, 10 comma 20.0f, as it is float. So we didn't have constructor with integer and float parameter. How can I create it? Can you try from your side if you're clear with the concept? Can you try? Give me a minute. I'll like. Yes, we have to create in that way. Good response. So I'm taking this and I'll create one more constructor, but the second parameter should be float, and I want to assign that to D. You can take any variable names here. You can take S here in that way. No, there is no restriction like use these values only. You can take any variable names here as well. But for better understanding, we'll use the same variable names to avoid the confusion. Is it clear, everyone? The constructor concept? Any doubts? Okay. Then I'll ask you a few questions. Constructor concept also completed, right? I'll ask few questions and then we'll go to this. We won't go deep into the non-primitive data types. We just see what are the primitive types available in Java. That's it. Because for each and every non-primitive type, we are having dedicated session. And in the class itself, we create constructor. Yes, in the class itself, we have to create the constructor. In the class itself, we need to create the constructor. See here, this is my class demo1, and this class was closed here. So all these constructors are inside the class only. Okay. Is it clear, Narasimhamurthy? Okay, great. So I want to ask you a question. So just give your answers in the chat box. What is the use of access modifiers? What is the use of access modifiers? Actually, yes, to specify scope, not it will restrict the access, we can say. Pranjali, it's not specifically for method. You can restrict the access for class with the data members and then methods as well. Yes, Pranjali. So it for restricting the access. Okay, good response. I hardly see few members responses only. Okay. How many types of access modifiers we are having in Java? Okay. What is the main difference between default and protected? Okay, let me simplify my question. Will default method or member can be accessible from outside of the package? Okay. Can default method can be accessible within the package, like within the class, with the class which is in the same package? Okay. Can I access private method from outside of the package? Can I access private method from other class within the same package itself from other class? Okay. Can I access public method or public class from outside of the package, throughout the package and outside of the package? Okay. Among four access modifiers, which is having wide scope? Among four constructors, which is having wide scope. Okay. And can I access protected method or data member from other class in the same package? Other class in the same package. Okay. Can I access protected from other packages without inheriting? From other package without inheriting? Can I access with inheritance by extending the class? With inheriting? Okay, great, good. And what is class actually? What is class? Okay, template or blueprint. What does that class contains? What class contains? Yes, data members, methods, variables. Yes, exactly. What is the use of object? What is the use of object? To access methods and variables in the class. Yes. How to create an object? How to create object? Which is the keyword I have to use to create object? Okay. Can you give syntax? No. Yeah, syntax for creating object. If my class is demo class, how can I create object for it? Can you give that statement how to create object? Good. Great. And is constructor and method are same? Okay. If it is no, okay. Will constructor have return type? Will it return anything? Can I use void for constructor? Can I use void as return type for constructor? Actually, it's no. I could see combination of answers. It's no. In the syntax itself, what we understood, access modifiers, I mean public or whatever it is, access modifier followed by class name and parenthesis. You shouldn't mention anything. Even if it is void, you shouldn't mention. Okay, is it clear? Yes, okay. How many types of constructors are there? What are they? Two types. Okay, good. What are the constructors available? Mm-hmm. Okay. Okay. Okay, good. What if I didn't mention any constructor? Which constructor will JVM will call? Okay. What if I mention parameterized constructor and I am trying to create object with default constructor? Will it throw error or will it work? Is there any restriction of using this fixed amount of constructors in Java? Like I have to use only 2 constructors like that? Okay. Okay. How many objects I can create for class? Is there any restriction? Okay, good. Good. And what is the main difference between constructor and method? What is the main difference between constructor and method? Yes, method consists of return type, and yeah, constructor has the same class name and it shouldn't return anytime. Good. And what else? Okay. Want to something else? We'll construct like what if I ma'am, is there a copy? There is a copy constructor, but it will be difficult to understand for you, Natsimamutri. Like if I want, yeah, what is the rule I have to use for creating methods, method names? What is the rule I have to follow while creating method name? How it should go? Is there any particular case? Yes, camel case. How to define class name? I mean, how to write a class name? If it is containing, if I want to create um, demo of class, demo of class. How to, can you write class name for this? Yes, demo of class. Yes, first letter of each word should be capital. Yes, good answers. Okay, good, good. So, hope you are clear with today's concept because you are answering correctly for all the questions. Is it clear? Can we proceed for non-primitive data types? Okay, good. What are primitive types actually? What are primitive types? You already covered in, I think, week 2 or week 3rd session. What are primitive data types? Sorry. Okay. Yeah. Okay. I asked about what are primitive data types, but you are saying like the types which are available in Java you are giving. I'm asking the usage. What is the use of data types? What is the use of data type? Mhm. Yes, use it to store the data storage. Yes. So, can I store? I am declaring. Okay, you gave the right answer. You're saying that the data types are used to define the type of the value that should be allocated in memory, right? I mean, for storage purpose to hold the data, we can simply say, okay, in my class, I declared integer a variable, but I'm trying to assign character to it. Will it work or error? Will it work or error? Why it will throw error? We are creating we are creating a variable and we are defining the type, right? Why it is throwing? Why it will throw error? Different data types, yes. Yes. So I'll just briefly, I think someone already explained you about primitive data types, but I'll just take some like brief introduction about the data types, because not everyone remember everything, right? So I'll just take it as like I'll go through just briefly, 5 minutes maximum. That's it. So yes, Soumya, good. So for example, don't think about primitive data type storage and all. I want to ask you. I have water, but I need some container to store it. If I hold my water, what it will do? Like it will, I can't hold the water in my hand, right? So what is the best container for you to store the water? Bottle, glass, good. Mm-hmm. Okay, good. Okay. Uh, I want to store dairy milk. Yeah, good. Check. I want to store what do you say? Dairy milk, the chocolate, not with the wrapper. I'm just saying the chocolate, the brown color one. Okay, packet, wrapper, fridge. If we keep it directly in fridge, the ants will come. Like, yeah, it is very sweet, right? But we can store it even in fridge. Box, bowl. Yes. What if I want to store laptop? Where can I hold the laptop? Where can you store the laptop? Bag. Okay. Bag. Laptop bag. Yes, bag. Suitcase. Okay, good. Yes, plain surface. Yes. Okay. Cupboard. Yeah. Good question. Good answers. Okay. We already took many example. Let me ask you one thing. Can I store my glass of water in packet? The wrapper. Can I store my glass of water in fridge directly without using any containers? Okay. Okay. Then can I store my chocolate in glass? Yes, you can, but but it will, if I store small chocolate in the glass, the entire space will be remained. Like we are not using complete space, but we can still use it, right? Can I store my laptop not in the bag, but in the fridge? Can I store? We can store, but it will, I mean, from the next time onwards, it will completely broken down. It won't work anything. Yes. So see here, we have some objects or some things. For each and everything, we need some containers to store. Respective containers. You can't store water in packet, water in wrapper. You shouldn't store laptop in fridge. So for each and every object, we should use some containers to hold it, right? For example, if it is water, we'll use bottle as container to store it. If it is chocolate, we'll use some wrappers or covers to hold it. If it is laptop, we are using bags to hold it, right? Similar to that, if you in programming also, we'll use some variables, some values. So to store everything, we should need some containers, right? Similar to how we are storing water in bottle, laptop in bag, chocolate in wrapper or wrapper. Similar to that, if you want to store some values in programming, we need some containers to hold it value. So for each the values will differ. Few are integer type, few are float type, few are strings, few are arrays, characters, different types. So based on the type, we have to take the container, right? Can you relate to this example? Okay, great. So we are having different data types, different primitive data types. int, float, what else? Double, char. I'm asking just primitive boolean. Do you have any other types? Int, float, double, char, boolean, right? Yep, long. Yep, my bad. Yes. For each and every type, it will contain some bytes data. For example, if it is int, some bytes it will store. If it is long, it will have some extra storage. If it is float, it is also some extra bytes compared to int. If it is double, it is more than float. If it is char, 1 byte. If it is boolean, some bytes like that. So we'll be having some storage in memory. Some in computer, some servers will be having memory, and it depends upon the requirement. We are using the data types. We are just defining the type of data we are trying to store in memory, trying to store in containers. For example, if it is 2, it is just an integer type. You can still use long type, but if you are using long as it is containing extra bytes, the remaining space will be ignored. We are not using, right? So it shouldn't be like that. We have to use as much as space we can. So depends upon the requirement. We'll use respective types. We are just defining to the JVM. Hey, I want to store. If I define, hey, I want to store 2 value, which is of integer type in the memory. Okay, it will allocate some integer as it is integer, 2 bytes, right? Bytes. Yeah. So it will allocate that memory, and as we are using a here, it will give reference. A will refer to this memory location. This is what happening in backend side. If it is float, b equals to 2.0 f. Hey, okay, by seeing this, it could understand, okay, they are trying to store 2.0 f, which is a float type in memory. Float, let's consider it as float, and we should be referred to that memory location. Are you clear with this? Okay. So the primitive types are dedicated. For example, if I use like this int a equals to 1, we are just defining single value itself. We are not defining multiple values. For example, char C, I can just give only one character. But what if I want to store multiple values? For example, here 1. If I want to store 1, 2, 3, 4, then how can I store it? If I want to store string, maybe my name. If I want to store Surya, then how can I store it? If I want to store some collection of float values, 2.0f, 1.0f, something, how can I store it? Can I store it in this way itself? Like int a equals to 2.0, float a equals to 2.0f, 1.0f, in this way. Can I store it? If I store in this format, will it throw error or will it work? Will it throw error or will it work? Error, yes. So only the primitive types are just like developed in such a way that it can only hold one value. We can't map multiple value to it. It can just hold only one data. That's it. So, but this is not real time case, right? We will be having different programs. We want to do different programs, which can take multiple values, some list of values, some list of characters. So for that case, we have non-primitive data types. Non-primitive data types. Under this, we'll be having many things, but we'll cover arrays, strings, and we can call interfaces also we can see. Structure in Java, we don't have any structure. I think in C you have structure, but there is no structure data type in Java. We're having collections as well, but those collections are very it's not it won't comes under core Java part. It is in Java. If you want to learn collection, you can search it and you can learn it. It's a good, very good data type. We can say it is a data structure. We can say it will providing different data structures or data types to store collection of values. Yes, queues, tags, everything comes under non-primitive data types only. So we'll be discussing arrays and strings. In core Java, if we can cover arrays and string, but remaining queues, tags, collections, like collections are nothing but list, set, list, map, all this comes under collections, but it is a very big concept. You have to be clear with core Java, then only you can understand the collections. Okay, give me a minute. Sorry, my bad. Yeah, these concepts are very advanced concepts. So once you're clear with core Java, then you can go ahead and learn this collections part as well. It's a very, very good concept. What most of the programs will use collections, like it will provide different data structures, set, list, and map. You can cover it, but these won't comes under Java core Java. So I'm will discuss about arrays and strings only. So arrays, what are arrays? Do you know what are arrays? For arrays and strings, we are having dedicated class sessions as well. I think next week, and then I think next week itself we'll cover arrays and strings. We'll be having dedicated sessions, but for now we are just uh, discussing the usage. That's it. Yes, it will store collection of similar data types, collection of homogeneous, or we can say similar data types. Yes. If we are storing some if we have 1, 2, 3, 4, or if I want to store 1.0, 2.0, 3.0, if I want to store my name Surya, and then XLR and something, I can store it in array, right? Array is nothing but collection of similar data types, collection of similar data type elements, same type of elements. Here 1, 2, 3, 4 are integer type. Here all are float type. Here everything is string type, right? So we are using arrays to store some collection of elements. Similar to that, what is string? What is string? String is nothing but collection of characters. Collection or combination of characters. If S is one character, SURYA. If you see individually, these all are characters. If I combine them, we can form a string, right? String is nothing but collection of characters. Like mostly we will use strings only, right? In most of the programs, we won't take characters. So if you have any program to take a collection of or a group of characters, better to take it as string. If you have collection of elements of same type, it's better to use arrays. So these are non-primitive types because it's not just holding one value, it's holding so many values. And all these are reference types actually. In backend side, we can say reference. All are and in the backend side, if you consider it as array, it will hold homogeneous, like one will be stored here and then in next memory location 2, 3, 4. In this way, it will store. Are you clear? What is the use of non-primitive? What is the main difference between primitive and non-primitive, and arrays and strings definition? Are you clear with it? We have dedicated sessions. Completely will discuss about arrays and completely will discuss about strings. In this, we are just seeing the main, like what are the types available. That's it. Okay, tell me what is the main difference between primitive and non-primitive data types? Primitive is predefined. Primitive holds single value. Yes, primitive is predefined and user defined or non-primitive, and primitive holds single value and non-primitive holds collection of values. Yes. What is an array? Can it store? What is an array? Just to give that answer. Later I'll ask. Remind me. What is an array? Collection of same type of elements. Yes, good. Can I store different data types like clear it? If I want to store 1.0, 2, character C and string, can I store this in arrays? Can I store heterogeneous elements in arrays? No. Yes. What if I want to try to store? Will it throw error or will it work? Error. Okay. What is string? What is string? Set of characters. Yes. Combination of character, collection of characters. Yes. Okay, good. So from this part, we can say that we completed we just saw what are the primitive data, what is the use of data type, and why we need, why we need data types, and then what are primitive data types available and what are non-primitive data types available. And in non-primitive types, we just learn the basic thing, the usage of arrays and strings. That's it. Are you clear with it? This fourth concept. Okay. Are you clear with today's session or any doubts? Did you enjoy the session? Yes, classes, interfaces, all those comes under non-primitive data types only, Ganesh. But those will be covered in next class. We'll have interface class session as well. Okay, great. Yes, Aman, you can take over. We completed all the concepts. You can take over the session.
Yeah, sure. Thank you so much.
Thank you, everyone.
Yeah. So dear participant, today we have one test. So the test topic is nested loop and advanced printing pattern. So I'm sharing the link with you. Just give me 1 minute. So I shared the link over the YouTube and I'm sharing over the Zoom as well. So please go ahead and all the best for your test. If you're looking for more description, I'm sharing my screen. So you will get the description over the screen. So total questions 15, total marks 30. Time start time is 12:30. It's perfect 12:30. We'll wind up the test by 12:50. So please submit your test. Thank you. So guys, I'm ready with the results, top 10, top 20 toppers of this program. So I'm sharing my screen. Please have a look. So here are the top 20 toppers of the today's test. So those who are there out of this 20, can you please raise your hand? Jyoti is there, Safia is there, and two others. Let me check the names. Okay, Bhavna is there, Nikhil is there. YouTube participant, you can also raise your hand. If you are YouTube participants and you are there in the list of top 20. Yeah, congratulations to all the toppers. Good job. Anybody is there over the YouTube? Who is there in the top 20 from the YouTube? Koi hai? Attendance link I am going to share, guys. Just wait for 1 more minute. Yes, I got one participant, Ashish Kumar from the YouTube. Thank you. Thank you, Ashish. Feeling hungry, sir? Yeah, I am also. But we'll go. Just 3-4 minutes. Okay, so I hope all toppers are here. So I would like to congratulate all of you for doing such a wonderful job. And others, those names are not here in the sheet. No need to worry, guys. Definitely, we have many more tests in upcoming sessions. So do study. Definitely, your name will also here in the top 20. Thank you. So without delaying, now I will share the attendance link with you. Just 1 minute. So guys, I shared the attendance link. Chalo, quickly fill your attendance, share your feedback, and let me know if you have any query or question in the chat box. I will take it up. Guys, I need a confirmation as well. Once you are going to submit your attendance, can I have a one confirmation as done? Okay, so I have a couple of responses. I'm done, sir. Thank you for the wonderful session. Thank you, sir. Tomorrow, which time going to be done? Yeah, our Monday to Friday, 6:30 p.m. to 9:30 p.m. We started our journey on the 8th January and today is the 25th February. Without missing a single day, we are running our program on planned time. Okay, so I would like to see all of you on tomorrow's session sharp at 6:30. So we are continuing with verbal ability. Done, sir. Thank you. Let me check the comment over the YouTube as well. Guys, done? Sir, myself, yes, thank you. Manohar Shah, thanks for raising the hand. Thank you. I hope your name is there. Done, sir. Okay. Anything else? You have any query or question for me? Okay, thank you, sir. Can I leave? Yes, definitely. If you don't have any query or question, definitely you can leave for the day. Hello, sir. Yes, Bhavna, tell me. When we will get the certificate? So, Bhavna, I think I already answer your question, but one more thing, you have to complete this complete course. Like whatever we plan for 200 plus hours, you have to finish that. Your certificate will be depend on your assessment scores, then your attendance and all these things, then definitely you will get the certificate. Class timing, please. So Harika, Monday to Friday our class timing is 6:30 p.m. to 9, and on Saturday Sunday we have a programming skills and the time is 10:30 to 1, 10:30 a.m. to 1 p.m. Indian Standard Time. Nothing, sir, everything is clear. Great, thank you, NGT. Yes, yes, those who are leaving, guys, bye, have a nice day. Sir, can you please send attendance link once again? Yeah, sure, Hemlata. I'm sharing that. I shared with everyone once again. Oh yeah, Shanti, I just shared the attendance link. I hope you received that. Tomorrow, which class we will have? So tomorrow, verbal ability. So there is a one message over the YouTube. Viral shoots are saying, sir, I missed the quiz. Oh, sorry, but now we are not able to retake that. At its close at 12:50 only. You can attend the next quiz. Be attentive every day. Be there in the sessions from first minute to last minute. Definitely, you are not going to miss any opportunity. You are not going to miss the placement as well. Okay. Because your future is there in your hand only. Whatever you are going to provide, definitely you will get back that. So some quizzes are missed. Nakansha, don't miss the quizzes. That's important for the certification and for you as well. Okay, so I think it's good time to conclude for the day. So, dear participants, I would like to thanks everyone to joining today's session, and we'll see you tomorrow at 6:30. So, thank you. Bye bye.